Hey guys, Mr. Riss here. So I'm going to help you out with the next section, 3.3. So we've added, subtracted, multiplied, and now what we need to do is divide polynomials. We're actually going to learn two different ways to divide a polynomial, and the first way we're going to learn is how to use long division. So it's probably been a while, so let's practice just normal long division to go through the steps. All right, so if I was going to divide 83 by 6 using long division, we would usually put 83 inside. I keep making that looks like a square root symbol, but it's the little divisor bracket, and we go through. Okay, so we'd first start out with the term. We kind of break this up into different parts, and we say, okay, what can we multiply 6 by to turn to 8? And we could most we could do is 1. So then we multiply. 6 times 1 is 6. We subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2, and then we bring down the 3. So we move on to the next number. All right, so what's the biggest number we can divide 23 by? Or 6 times what? Let's see, 6 times 4 would be too much, so we'd have to do 6 times 3. And then we'd go ahead, and 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 6 is 18, and we subtract, and we are left over with 5. And so what we would say is that 83 divided by 6 is 13 with a remainder of 5. Or what we could say is that it is 13 with 5/6 left over. Okay, so next let's try that again, but with a bigger number. So let's do 200 divided by 14. So 14 is our divisor, 200 is going in. So we have a term here 2, we're kind of split up. If we can't use 2 here, we have to go to 20. Okay, what's the biggest number we can use is 1. 1 times 14 is 14. We could subtract the 20 here, which would be 6, carry down the 0. All right, 60. What's the biggest number we can do? 60 and 14, let's see, is 5. That'd be, no, that'd be too much. What about 4? 4 is 56. All right, so 4 times 14 is 56. And we could subtract, and we'd have a 4. Now we keep going to get decimals, but roughly what we would be saying here is that 200 divided by 14 equals 14, and with the remainder of 4, or 14 and 4/14, which we could probably reduce to 14 and 2/7, but this is good enough. So if we look at this expression here, is we got what's left over, and then the remainder is what's left down here over the fraction of the divisor. So we're going to do the same thing, but with polynomials now. So when it comes to dividing polynomials, we are going to be looking at each term individually. So they kind of line this up a little bit different than I do, but if we're going to take x cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x plus 9, and we're going to divide it by x plus 3, what we're always going to be doing here, and this is what I would recommend doing. I'm going to sneeze here. Don't sneeze. Oh, I'm fighting it. Oh, this is going to be one of those days. Is we're going to go through and see, okay, x, what do we have to multiply x by to turn it into the next term? To multiply x to turn it into x cubed, we need to multiply by x squared. So we'll distribute that x squared to multiply it, which would turn out to here, x cubed plus 3x squared, and then we subtract. X cubed minus x cubed goes away. 5x squared minus 3x squared goes down to 2x squared. And then we drop everything back down. So then we start that process over again. What do I have to multiply x by to turn it into 6x? Or not, ooh, I'm already messed up. I'm looking ahead. Not 6x, to turn it into our next term. There's my tools. 2x squared. Well, to change x to 2x squared, I need to multiply it by a 2x. So we'll distribute that again. All right, so we'd get 2x squared plus 6x. We subtract, bring down what's left over, and we just have a 9. Is there anything I can multiply x by to turn into 9? No. So this is our remainder. So the way that we would write our answer is to show that, so you guys can see, this expression divided by x plus 3 would be an x squared plus 2x plus the remainder 9 over x plus 3. There's another way to write this using multiplication, but we're not going to go through it. It's not too bad. So we're just going to try to write all of our answers like so. So we're going to take our time with this. and go through 3 examples to make sure we can understand it. All right. Now, a key thing that you might want to do here, if I'm going to take x cubed plus 27 and divide it by 2x plus 3, what you might want to do is put in some spaces. So instead of doing 8x cubed plus 27, put in the rest. We'd have 0x squared plus 0x plus 27. This will help us keep everything organized and simple. So we're always going to be looking at this first term of our divisor and then the first term of each product. So what do I have to multiply 2x by to turn it into 8x cubed? We'd have to multiply it by 4x squared. Okay, so now we're going to take our 4x squared, we're going to multiply it by the divisor. All right, 2x times 4x squared is 8x cubed. 3 times 4x squared is a 12x squared. So we're going to take this expression and we're going to subtract it. 8x cubed minus 8x cubed goes away. 0 minus 12x squared is a negative 12x squared. Bring down the rest. So plus 0x plus 27. Okay, so we're going to keep this going. All right, next. What do we need to multiply 2x by to turn it into a negative 12x squared? To multiply it by that, we'd have to multiply it by a negative 6x. So we're going to go then distribute the 6x to negative 6x to both of those. So negative 6x times 2x is a negative 12x squared. Negative 6x times 3 is a negative 18x. We're going to subtract this expression. Negative 12x minus negative 12x goes away. 0 minus 18 is a positive 18x. We bring down the 27. All right, we keep it going until we can't do it anymore. All right, what do we multiply 2x by to turn it into 18x? We'd have to multiply by just 9. So we'll distribute the 9. 2x times 9 is 18x. 3 times 9 is 27. We subtract the terms. We get nothing with the x's. We get nothing there. We are actually done. There is no remainder. So the answer is 4x squared minus 6x plus 9. There's our answer. Okay, so let's keep trying this. 2 more examples to get the hang of this. Now, I will totally recommend this is going to be something you guys have to practice. You can't just watch the video of me doing this and understand it. You have to go through the terms. There's a lot of steps, and the repetition will make you better. All right, so if I'm going to take this expression and divide it by x squared minus 4x plus 3, we're dividing x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. Okay, we don't have any spaces to fill out. We're just going to go ahead and start looking. What do we multiply x squared by to turn it into x cubed? We'd have to multiply it by x. Yeah, just x. That's it. Alrighty, so we would get multiply everything by x. X squared times x is x cubed. 4x times x is minus 4x squared. 3 times x is 3x. Okay, we are going to subtract the terms and see x cubed minus x cubed is 0. Negative 6x squared minus negative 4 would be a negative 2x squared. 11x minus 3x would be 8x. We got to drop down the minus 6. Okay, keep it going. What do we multiply x by to turn it into a negative 2, or x squared by to turn it into a negative 2x squared? We'd have to multiply by negative 2. So distribute the negative 2 now. Negative 2 times x squared is negative 2x squared. 4x times negative 2 is a positive 8x. 3 times negative 2 is a negative 6. You guys can see when we subtract them, it's 0. So the expression here, x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6 divided by x squared minus 4x plus 3 is what's on top? X minus 2. Alrighty. One more problem here. This one probably won't come out as nice, but we're going to take our time with it. Alrighty. So let me just actually zoom down a little bit. I think that'd be better if we have a little bit more room. Alrighty. So we're going to take 4x squared plus 9, but I'm going to put spaces in here. 4x squared plus 0x plus 9, and divide it by, or divide 16x to the 4th plus 0x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x's minus 85. Ooh, a lot of things going on there. All right, so we just take our time, one thing at a time. What do we have to multiply 4x squared by to turn it into 16x to the 4th? Have to multiply it by 4 and x squared. All right, so let's distribute everything by 4x squared. So, all right, 4x squared times 4x squared would be 16x to the 4th. 0x times 4x would be 0x cubed. 9 times 4x squared would be a 36x squared. All right, so we subtract the terms. 16x to the 4th minus 16x to the 4th is 0. 0x cubed minus 0x cubed is 0. Okay, 0x squared minus 36x squared is a negative 36x squared. I'm going to drop down the 0x, and we are also going to drop down the 85. Kind of running out of room, but it'll be all right. Okay, let's keep this going. So what do we have to multiply 4x squared by to turn it into a negative 36x squared? We'd have to multiply that by a negative 9. All right, so 4x squared times negative 9 is a negative 36x squared. 0x times negative 9 is a 0x. 9 times negative 9 is a negative 81. We'll subtract these expressions. Negative 36x squared minus negative 36x squared is 0. 0x minus 0x is 0. Negative 85 minus negative 81 is a negative 4. Now, there's no way we can take 4x squared and times it by anything to get a negative 4, so we are done. Our answer is going to be 4x squared minus 9, and then how we write our remainder, you can put plus a negative or you can put minus, but we can put plus a negative 4 over 4x squared plus 9, our divisor here. Okay, guys, so this is long division. Long division, we will work out all the time. We're going to learn another one tomorrow called synthetic division, which is a little bit quicker, a little bit neater, but will only work for certain scenarios. All right, guys, so if you have any questions, make sure you guys ask. Do the practice. I highly recommend it, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great one.